I know the red one's positive and the ground one's negative, but guys, when it comes to doing electrical and stuff in your vehicle, call a damn professional if you're not 100% for sure. So that's what I did. Oh, look at Ray Outfitted came here to rescue us today and make sure that Chrome doesn't burn his van down.
We just drilled the hole in the roof and put the pass-through on. We connected all 3 panels in parallel. The reason for this is the solar controller we are using cannot accept anything over 25 volts. And the maximum for each of the panels is 17 open voltage. We can't put 2 in series together, they have to be parallel.
We're not going to confuse you guys today with a bunch of terms that I don't even understand myself. So this isn't going to be a how to install video with a step-by-step along the way, but I gotta tell you guys a story. You see, when I first set out on this van life journey, I kept everything simple because I couldn't afford anything. Then as I could afford stuff, my van changed. My whole world started to evolve. I started to add more comforts to the van, and it just honestly made the van life journey much more functional and fun. But solar is one thing I never ever thought I would ever add. It wasn't until months ago that Renogy reached out to me and was like, Chrome, we would like to kit your van out with a solar kit. I was like, nope, not gonna happen. I don't need it. But they planted the seed in my head. Then I started to think about it and take a look at some of the products that they do have and start to just wonder what life would be like. Then I thought about you guys. I was like, okay, because so many people in my comments always talk about solar. You need it. And I figured, you know what, maybe there's a solar setup out there that will help my life and maybe possibly help you guys by keeping things just simple. Because I know a lot of you guys out there are like me, get confused about all this stuff and just don't understand it. And because we don't understand it, we don't add it to our life. So when I was talking to Renogy, I wanted something simple, affordable, easy to install, and most of all, easy to use. I didn't want to be confused. I don't need confusion in my life. I don't need complexity in my life. That's the great part about van life, is keeping things simple. I didn't want any front little digital panels that I had to program and understand, or I didn't want any of that stuff. I just wanted something you could just plug in and play with it. Simple as that.
So we're here today with Chrome because, you know what the truthful is, friends don't let friends burn their vans down. And one of the great rules we figured out early on in our business is if you can't draw an electrical diagram and have someone like Rainer review it with you, all drawn out, if you can't draw that, you really shouldn't do this on your own. You don't have to hire Ray Outfitted, but you really should hire someone to help and make sure you do this right. There's a lot of ways to have an issue, and just because it works the moment you wire it all up doesn't mean it's safe, doesn't mean it won't rattle apart, doesn't mean you won't have a short. So make sure that you know it's totally still a DIY camper van to bring someone in on your project, to hire them, to coordinate with them, to learn from them, to work with them. All of this, it's still your van, it's still your DIY rig, but you get to drive with the peace of mind that it's gonna work properly. And at the end of the day, if something goes wrong, you'll have someone you can reach out to for help. And that's why we're here today with Chrome, to make sure his solar is set up right.
Hey Chrome, we're gonna walk you through what we did today. So we hooked up all 3 year 100 watt panels in parallel, passed them through the pass-through that we put on the roof, and we'll show you what we connected it to inside. So our wires come in through the ceiling here into our DCC 50S from Renogy. So we've got our negative and our positive from our solar panel. Then we've got our chassis ground. Then we have our battery out. And we have our alternator charging in. So as you can see here, we've got our 4 lights, our one for our alternator, which is not on, our solar, which is showing that we're in bulk charge, our battery, which shows that they are in good standing order, and this one, which is telling us that we are running a AGM battery. Up here behind the seat, we put in our 700 watt Renogy inverter, and it's hooked up to our battery, which is just behind this panel right here.
So we get a lot of inquiries and emails about different solar systems, trying to get budgets, understanding, and we hear the words, I just want a simple electrical system, a lot. And the reality is an electrical system is sized for your usage. And Chrome's usage actually is fairly low draw for off-grid. And this allows him to have a smaller system, and that makes it a lot simpler from an install, from a component cost standpoint, from a few of those areas. But it's important to note that, you know, Chrome's big draw stuff is his laptop and the Magic Bullet blender. We get lots of inquiries, and it's people wanting to bring their Vitamix blender and understand Chrome can handle a 700 watt inverter. And if you're talking a Vitamix, bare minimum, you need a 2000 watt inverter. That changes the size of wires, and that ups all of your complexity. So at the end of the day, it's really important to think about what electrical draw you need to have, how much you want to simulate your conventional home comforts, because it comes at a big price tag. It is the ultimate luxury in off-grid living to have a hefty electrical system. And what Chrome has shown here and what he set up is a great example of a budget-friendly version of a system. And when I say budget-friendly, it's not cheap. It's still an investment, but it's one that'll pay a lot of dividends. And we're really looking forward to seeing how this system changes Chrome's off-grid life.
I've been trying to do the ending on this video so many times and the words just don't come out right. So, CRUZ is going to be a part of this, barking his brains out because he's mad because I'm over here trying to finish this video. All I want to say is a few things. One thing, thank you guys. Thank you for coming to save the day, knowing that me and CRUZ aren't going to burn our house down because this guy made an electrical mistake.
Friends don't let friends burn their vans down.
Right. So people are going to ask costs. So when I was talking to Rainer about what it would cost, CRUZ is just like, yep, that's right. Yep, that's right. Yep. Good job, CRUZ. Thanks for adding your piece. He's like, that's not what he was going for. He didn't think he was going to get praised for that. He's like, damn it!
Shut him up.
So because I had some of my system already started, so I already had my battery and everything set up over there, and I already had the cable going to the alternator, and all that stuff is already done. So everything that Rainer did here is about $1,000 pre-tax, pre-parts, pre-everything. It's just labor and time. So that's wiring up all the components that I have, wiring through all of the lines, putting all in the fuses, and installing the solar panels on the roof and putting it through. So about $1,000. So here's my view on it. So if I were to have, which is probably coming soon, not yet, if I had 2 lithium batteries, I'm at $2,000 just for the batteries. If you're in the US, Canada, that's like $3,000. They're insane up here. So that's $2,000 in batteries, $1,000 for solar. CRUZ is like, yep, you tell him, Dad. That's a $3,000 setup pre-install. So if you're already in it for $3,000 in parts, what's an extra $1,000 to know that it's in there? Those parts are done right. You have somebody to call if there's ever a problem. I can call Madison and say, hey, something's going on here. She's like, oh, don't worry, Chrome. Let me put Rainer on the line. We'll get you straightened out. But that's the plus side. What's an extra $1,000 when you're already $3K in? You know what I mean? Don't say anything. I'm not done yet. I'm doing good. I'm on a roll. I'm super excited. I'm doing good. So I want to give you guys a rundown on some of the parts that I'm using from Renogy. They have one unit called a MPPT DC to DC charge controller. The reason why I chose that unit, one, it's simple. It doesn't have buttons on the front or anything. I have to set nothing. You put it up there. It's set from the factory. Easy peasy. I plug it in. Peace out. I don't got to worry about it. Simple as that. But that's why I liked that unit, because it's affordable and simple. And for someone like me that has very minimal power requirements, it just made sense to me. Sure, if you're the person that might expand your system and need bigger things later and want to add things, did I just hit you? it might not be the right choice, but for me, it's perfect. I find it's perfect for me. So a small 700 watt inverter, which is like 3 times the power that I will ever pull out of that damn thing, because I have a 200 watt magic bullet. That's my biggest power draw, and that thing gets used probably once a year. What? To look like a guy that's gonna blend greens? Probably not. So anyway, guys, just wanted to give you just that. We'll dive into this a little bit deeper. Did I cover everything? Why put, God damn it, you finished it off. I'm done talking.
One thing I will add, the advantage of having someone professionally install it means you don't void warranties, because you make a mistake and melt a component, it's gonna be hard to have a refund or get a new one replaced unless it was installed correctly. Manufacturer defect problem is one thing, but I made a mistake and melted my battery. Little hard to get financial help. And so that's ultimately what Ray Outfitted is all about. We want to work with DIYers. We want to help people achieve their budget and their goals and keep them safe. Friends don't let friends burn their vans down.
Right. So
Have a good time.
If you guys have any questions about anything that I did component-wise in here, I'm going to leave the links down below. Do your research on things, because what I have in my van might not be the magic power system for you, or it might be. So just do your research, guys. Trust that feeling in your stomach. And if you have questions, you can call the companies. So like for Renogy, if you have a question about Renogy products, give them a call. Say, hey guys, look, this is what I need. They might be able to work things out with you guys and make sure you guys get the right setup for what you need, because not everybody has access to friends like I have. So you pick up the phone and boom, they just show up in a parking lot. I don't know, they maybe airlifted their van here, but it just bang, just showed up. I was like, I'm doing my solar today. She's like, not without us, you ain't. Okay, thanks for watching, you guys. And if you have any questions about anything, leave them in the description, and I will be in the comments of this video and try to cover anything on another one. Yes, I did it! I think when I did my first take, I was trying to be too professional, and sometimes you just gotta be real.
Keep it weird.
Keep it weird.